Hey, what's happening, guys? It's your boy Mahesh. Welcome to the show today, Sunday morning, in my effort to keep a continuity going with my series and in the process of discovering and developing my podcast. Uh, Today, I'm going to be doing a somewhat commentary slash review of the book I just completed on Audible. Um, I drive a lot for my job, so I listen to a lot of audiobooks. If you are looking for something to occupy your time while you're on the road and learn new information and educate yourself, I always recommend an audiobook platform. I don't have any sponsors yet, but I will recommend Audible. It's what I use. Um, so getting into it, this book, Behold a Pale Horse by the author William Cooper, was written somewhere around 1988. As hard copy, and I think it was released on Audible 2018. Now we can get into a lot of discussion about why would they allow this to be released, and I think that the truth is, regardless of what you believe, those who are in charge of the world truly do want to help the earth because they look at it from a global perspective. How do we manage the people? How do we manage societies? How do we manage the entire earth? And so they think on a level that you and I may not think. And so these books that are leaking and called conspiracy theory books and all this stuff, I truly believe that they are just them trying to reach out to us to prepare for what's coming, and for those who are smart enough or intelligent enough to have these discussions and these debates to figure out a way to have a voice at their table. I'm just assuming. I'm just giving my point of view, what I think, right? I mean, you could probably see this as woo-woo kind of talk, but I just want you to hear this clip that I'm gonna start off with as an intro, and I want you to think about it, and we'll talk about it afterwards. There are a few clips I want to play, excerpts from the book, and let's get into it. Let me play the first excerpt, which is the intro paragraph, and tell me what you think and see if it resonates with today.
We cannot survive any longer by hanging on to the falsehoods of the past. Reality must be discerned at all costs if we are to be a part of the future. Truth must prevail in all instances, no matter who it hurts or helps, if we are to continue to live upon this earth. At this point, what we want may no longer matter. It is what we must do to ensure our survival that counts. The old way is in the certain process of destruction, and a new world order is beating down the door. I fear for the little ones, the innocents, who are already paying for our mistakes. There exists a great army of occupationally orphaned children. They are attending government-controlled daycare centers. There are latchkey kids who are running wild in the streets, and the lopsided, emotionally wounded children of single welfare mothers, born only for the sake of more money in the monthly check. Open your eyes and look at them, for they are the future. In them I see the sure and certain destruction of this once proud nation. In their vacant eyes I see the death of freedom. They carry with them a great emptiness, and someone will surely pay a great price for their suffering. If we do not act in concert with each other and ensure that the future becomes what we need it to be, then we will surely deserve whatever fate awaits us. I believe with all my heart that God put me in places and in positions throughout my life so that I would be able to deliver this warning to His people. I pray that I have been worthy and that I have done my job.
Wow, that was pretty powerful. When I heard that first paragraph, I was like, man, this is the book. I'm going to listen to every paragraph, every word in this book because it got me. It's true, right? If we want a seat at the table, we have to become truthful and be honest about what we see. and accept reality for what it is, not what we are told it is, not what they tell us it is. So, but in order to do that, your consciousness, your mind has to evolve to a point where you could see things as they are and not what you fantasize or what people tell you it is. This is different from having a vision of the future. Don't confuse the two. People often confuse the two. Having a vision for the future is okay, but trying to act like if that vision is current or listen, we're all pawns in somebody else's game, right? You work for somebody, you have to do their job. They're paying you to do their job. You go to school, they educate us. They basically tell us anything and we believe it because we have to. What choice do we have? What else do we have to compare it to? Right? We go to school, they tell us what's real from their perspective, what they want us to know, and then the few privileged who have access to higher levels of society, they get to know what the reality is and they get sucked into a different world from the common man. He gets into that in the next chapter about the common man and the dilemma we face as a society. But I always say that, and if you go back and look at all my TikToks, all my Instagrams, I always try to tell people that we have to be united and we got to drop the label of being a Trumper or being a Republican, being a conservative, being a Democrat, being a left wing, being a right wing. They're all part of the same game. It's to divide us into small little subsections so that we fight each other and we miss the boat. We miss the big picture of what's playing out. And so that's why this book was really powerful to me when I was listening to it, because I felt like, oh, it spoke to me. Anyway, let's get into the next chapter 3, where he talks about the common man and the dilemma we face as a society.
From the time a person leaves its mother's womb, its every effort is directed toward building, maintaining, and withdrawing into artificial wombs various sorts of substitute protective devices or shells. The objective of these artificial wombs is to provide a stable environment for both stable and unstable activity, to provide a shelter for the evolutionary processes of growth and maturity, in effect, survival,
We all
to
want
provide
security.
security for freedom, and to provide defensive protection for offensive activity. This is equally true of both the general public and the elite.
Correct.
However, there is a definite difference in the way each of these classes go about the solution of problems.
Correct.
The primary reason why the individual citizens of a country create a political structure is a subconscious wish or desire to perpetuate their own dependency relationship of childhood. Simply put, they want a human God to eliminate all risk from their life, pat them on the head, kiss their bruises, put a chicken on every dinner table, clothe their bodies, tuck them into bed at night, and tell them that everything will be all right when they wake up in the morning. This public demand is incredible, so the human God, the politician, meets incredibility with incredibility by promising the world and delivering nothing. So who is the bigger liar, the public or the Godfather?
I would have to say the public. I would say us. We're the bigger liars. We live in a fantasy world where we think that somebody else is going to solve our problems, right? It's true what he's saying. We come out of the womb where we were protected. And when we are born into a home, that home is provided for us. That's another womb, right? For us to thrive and grow and flourish. As a country, we do the same thing. We want our country to be a womb to protect us. So we hire politicians. We outsource our decision making to somebody else, a human God, right? So that we don't have to think about it. And then we get upset and try to act all virtuous when we find out of all the corruption and all the shit that they had to do for our own bidding, right? At the end of the day, we're fish in a pond, we're cattle, we're sheep. Sad to say, but it's the truth. It's the truth. That hit me hard because I was like, listen, for a long time I saw myself as some kind of a revolutionary and I'm fighting for freedom and all this stuff. But when you see it from that perspective, it wakes you up and it makes you realize what we are living in and the truth about us. This made me reevaluate me. When I heard this statement or this paragraph, I'm not even done. I'm halfway through the paragraph, but it woke me up. It shook me at my core. It made me see the hypocrisy in me It made me reflect in me. It made me go back and think of all the times that I had to, the audacity of me to point a finger at a politician, or point a finger at an agency, or point a finger at the elites. When in reality, the real liar, the real scam, the real failure, and again, not our fault. We were just raised that way. Very few have the privilege to wake up and see things as they are. Very few. It's a small percentage. But it's a privilege and an honor. And when you recognize it, you have to accept. You have to accept. Right? Acceptance means that the power is with you. You are the one being wrong. You're putting all your eggs outside, and you're not keeping any for yourself. You're not looking at yourself. You're not giving yourself any introspection. So my video today was really, I wanted to get into the idea or the concept that maybe as a country, as a society, as a group, as a collective, that we should consider that let's stop blaming Trump. Let's stop blaming Biden. Let's stop blaming Democrats or Republicans, conservatives, or liberals. Let's stop blaming the labels. Let's take personal accountability for ourselves, for the relationships that we have, for the communities that we're in, for the lives that we're living, for the actions that we take with each other and ourselves. And let's be responsible here. Let's, for 1 second, I recommend this book, by the way. There's a lot of stuff in here. If you like a little bit of aliens drama and a little bit of, conspiracy drama and all that stuff. By the way, a lot of the stuff he predicts in this book, he wrote before they happened. They came to pass, and they're still happening. So the book is more relevant today than any time. So it's a great read. And it wakes you up, and it makes you feel empowered, because now you know who's in charge. You are. You're the one in charge. Stop being afraid. Stop living in fear. Let's talk. Let's debate. Let's argue. Let's have conversation. And let's be one family. And you know what? Let's stop seeing the elites as other than us. They are us. Their children participate in our society. Their families have businesses in our society. We have a symbiotic relationship. We all are on the same page. So to the Illuminati, if you're watching, or if that's even a real thing, because I think all these things are just made up to keep the human element in control and in check and in fear and hopeless. The truth is, we're all on the same page, and we're all trying to achieve the same outcomes, in a way. Some trying to do it in different ways than others. The thing is, maybe there's another way that we can do it. Maybe we can all work together. Or maybe not, I don't know. Maybe you all think that you have to subjugate one group in order to have another. How about we just build systems, engineer systems that somewhat feel inclusive, kind of like what the intention was behind the American system. 3 branches of government, Bill of Rights, Constitution, Declaration of Independence, blah, blah, yada, yada, yada. There was a reason for that, right? And it would work if, but again, in this book, he talks about the human element. If we do not develop some system to deal with the human element, it's going to collapse. That's what we're seeing now. Anyway, I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Listen to the book. Leave comments down below. Tell me what you think. Really curious. This type of stuff excites me. I love talking about this stuff. I look forward to making more videos. If you have any suggestions or reviews or reactions you want me to have, leave them in the comments below. I will make a video about it and kind of give you a reaction or my 2 cents on whatever that is. Look forward to making more videos, and thank you for watching. Peace.